Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Superhero Premium Bandai Orange Piccolo, aka PICCOLO, and I want to do the question of the day right away. How do you guys feel about this transformation? You can tell me about it fictionally, like as far as the reason why he transforms and all of that kind of stuff. I don't really care about that. I haven't seen the movie yet. I just want to know about the aesthetics though. Do you guys like the way this looks? For me personally, I like the idea of a big muscular Piccolo. I don't like the color change. I'm not a fan of the yellowish orange mixed with the orange and the lighter purple. It just doesn't really work for me. I think a darker green would have been cool, or even just regular Piccolo but but bigger. I think that would have been a better thing for me personally. That's purely subjective. I'm just not a fan of this color scheme. Because Piccolo has never changed colors before. So I don't really like that being introduced. To me, it feels cheap and gimmicky. I think just making him more muscular would have been a much more reasonable approach. Okay, so there's a lot that's really, really good about this figure. Bandai did a pretty good job overall, but there are a few things that are pretty horrible. At least on mine, and you guys can let me know if yours has the same problems. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this off the stand and take a closer look. Before we get into the figure, let's take a look at my package. I do like that the Dragon Ball Super figures have the chrome here. I don't think they usually have the chrome, do they? Don't they normally have white printing? Do I have any packages handy? I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but either way, it has the chrome here for the name. That's cool. It does have the brown background. Somebody mentioned that in one of my other videos, how ugly that is. I definitely would have preferred color as well, but since it's for the movie and they're all the same, I guess that's okay. Nice art image, though, of the figure. Up here, like the whole rest of it, worthless. You can see him at the top, that's nice, but on the front, these photos suck. On the side, it's okay. On the back, standard posing, that's all good, no problem there. Hey look, we have more Gohan Build-A-Figure parts. And then on the side, it's blank with the chrome. Alright, nothing very unique there. As for the figure itself, it stands, not counting his little tubers, just about 7.5 inches. That's going to make it roughly, we'll call it 19.25 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin. Serious size on him, and here he is up against, it's not the right Goku, but they're all the same scale, so who cares? The one I use as a reference for size, because I'm guessing it's the one most people have. He's still pretty big, though honestly, I don't know how much taller Piccolo is supposed to be, because I haven't watched the movie yet, but regular Piccolo is supposed to be pretty dang tall, and they haven't quite gotten that scaling right, so this is probably scaled down a little bit too, but still, you can see he's quite chunky compared to Gherkin there. Okay, as far as the aesthetics go, they did something I freaking love. You guys can tell me what it is. I know you know what it is. You're looking at what I'm looking at. You know. It's the paint. There's shading all over his purple, and since he's got a lot of purple on him, it's nice. Is it the best shading ever? No. Did they miss the crotch area? Yeah, but it's heavily down here, heavily up here, and then not so heavily painted right there. It kind of tapers down to the center, so I don't hate it as much. I do wish it was a little more purposeful, a little bit less heavy in some areas, but it does have shading on it, and it makes it look so much better. Does it have it on the back? No. Paint job for the Pokeball from Naruto is pretty good though, so that's okay. Paint job for the arms, it's clean enough. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but that's good enough. Well, it's close to good enough. Could be a little better. I wish there was more shading throughout. That would be nice. But man, oh man, I'll tell you what. If there's one thing Bandai's gotten right on the Dragon Ball figures lately, because the figures have been kind of hit or miss, it's the face paint. Damn, it's so clean. It's so nice. And you'll see on the other heads when we get to the accessories how nice that looks. Unfortunately, we do have to mention that his little antennae, his little tubers, they're not exactly flush. There's kind of weird gapping going around the way they peg in. I don't care for that. It's not a huge deal, and at a distance you're not going to notice it at all, but it definitely could be better. And then as far as the sculpt goes, I think it's pretty good. Still not in love with the way they're doing the pant seam up here, but this one's one of the better examples. It doesn't have that huge flap on the side like Trunks had. What a travesty that was. So that's okay. His boots, okay, that's something we'll talk about. His boots do look really plasticky. Really plasticky. The rest of the figure is okay. His hands are plasticky and his boots are plasticky. Everything else is pretty okay. The head's, I guess it doesn't really matter that the head comes off. I wish it had a little bit of retention. It doesn't have any retention. I can't push it on any. Yeah, it doesn't actually have. Okay, well now it's holding a little bit. I guess it's just the angle. It doesn't actually snap. So maybe as I pose it, it pops itself free a little bit. I don't know. There's some retention. Okay. No, not much. Anyway, just be careful. If you're picking them up by the head, be careful. So yeah, aesthetically speaking, it's pretty good. I think the proportioning is all right. Though a lot of the images I saw of the actual source material, I did a little bit of research. They do have his arms a little bit bigger and his legs a little bit smaller, like disproportionately so. So I'm kind of indifferent. He does have baggy pants on, so I could let it go. And it's not like his arms are small, so I'm okay with this. They're always going to skew a little bit, but I think it's fine. So aesthetically speaking, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. It's actually pretty solid with the shading on the pants especially. Makes it look pretty dang nice. Okay, as far as accessories go, you get the stern face that comes on him in the package, you get the smirky face, you get the angry face, and you get the yelly face. And boy, are those faces great. I do think they got the look pretty good for Piccolo. We've had some trouble in the past having it just look like a generic Namekian. Super thick Piccolo here has a different shape to his head than normal, and I think they captured that pretty well, so I'm okay with that. He has the 2 fist hands that come on him in the package, then you get 2 different sets of style pose hands. I'm guessing those are all we need. Like I said, I haven't seen the superhero movie yet, so I don't know if he does any other moves that would require like an instant transmission hand or some jutsu hands. I don't know. All right, and then lastly, we get the Gohan hands for holding the Kamehameha, which is actually a really nice Kamehameha. It holds itself together very well, so more Gohan parts there. I think we could have had some kind of effect part for Piccolo or something, but we didn't get that. So 8 out of 10, still good accessories, but definitely a little bit light in the count. Okay, as far as articulation goes, you already saw he has a double ball peg neck, which I definitely prefer. Top of the neck, single ball peg at the bottom of the neck. None of it grants that much range because the superhero figures have like no neck at all. They're super thick and chunky. It still moves around probably well enough. You can lift the head up a little bit on that and give yourself a little bit better range. I will definitely do that in my display. It is not seated properly right now, but it looks so much better. I know it's not incredibly inaccurate, but I do think they probably skewed towards a shorter neck than they probably should have. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think it looks a little bit better to set the head just a little bit higher. Just a little bit, and it does give you better range as well. Okay, now the other interesting thing about this figure is it does have the same sort of shirt as the Beast Gohan, so it's soft material here and here, which means this articulation blows. And frankly, this articulation doesn't work that well, so I'm not a fan of this. I would rather they go back to what they used to do. Anyway, let's look at the shoulder joints. Okay, so the shoulder joint on its own goes up a little bit less than horizontal, so not the best range there. Is there a butterfly in there? Kind of. It's, I'm guessing, on that ball peg joint that they've been doing now. So it just moves around a little bit. Doesn't have the greatest range, so if you want to bring the arms up, you have to actually rotate them around, which isn't the worst thing, but you have to do that. And as far as the actual butterfly itself goes, there isn't any. So just go back to sculpting it the way you used to and not cutting it all up, because it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. These soft shirts that they're doing so far, I'm not a fan. Gohan's didn't look great and didn't function. Piccolo's looks okay but doesn't function. Like, it just doesn't afford anything, and you get these gaps in the sleeves. That might as, why? It doesn't, that's not enough to make a difference. Just sculpt it all one piece. And then we have a seamless shirt at least. Now we have a shirt with seams and no articulation. I don't get it. Very weird. Bicep swivel is okay. I feel like the shoulder could be a little bit bigger. Just a little bit, because you have a big gap going around. Or taper this a little more, just a little bit more seamless. We have the new type of elbows where we don't see any of the joints. It's painted and sculpted in there. So it looks really good when it's straight. When you start to bend it, it's a little bit questionable, but it's better, I guess, than not doing that. And you get a little bit better than 90, not a ton. Ball hinge wrist, that's fine. Torso articulation on this guy. Let's see if I can even show you. I do like thick Piccolo. It's so much better to see a bulkier version of him than one that's too scrawny. I don't know what's going on in there because I can't do anything with it. This shirt is basically tight to the body, so there's definitely a joint. Freaking head. There's definitely a joint in there. You can see where his little yellow and red part is, but I can't do anything with it. So this is not great. I don't like this new setup at all personally. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, we get this, just a big flat chunk underneath the belt. That doesn't look good either. I think this is a step backwards. Honestly, the whole torso system used to look so much better. And it's not like this was hideous. This was fine. This doesn't look better. I mean, I don't like this part up here. Anyway, you get the idea that I'm saying. The cut here is acceptable as opposed to this. This doesn't work. All right, but down here, it's just a ball peg. It's really loose though. You get your rotation, of course. This is a soft piece, but it's pretty loose. Range is not great. And since you can't use the upper torso, it's pretty not good, honestly. All right, for the legs, very loose side to side. As I was setting them up on the turnaround, every time I tried to do anything, that happens. They're very, very loose. As far as range, he can kick horizontal, that's fine. Can't go back because they sculpted the butt cheeks. I think we're working backwards here, guys. The butt cheeks should be on the leg, that way you can bring the leg back and actually do like a better martial arts pose. Like this is okay, but we should be able to do like a forward and back split, I think. Yeah, we should have better range. Going out to the side, it's actually pretty good. Certainly not the worst thing we've seen, so I'll take that. Man, they're so loose side to side though. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee is acceptable. Not the best one we've ever seen by a mile, but it's okay, especially from the side it looks all right. Now the ankles, we get rotation here, but this is just a floating piece. And so the ankle itself is a ball hinge that's way too small for the area. That's as far back as you can move the foot. And you can't really move it forward, or it just pops off. This is not a good ankle. Why are they overcomplicating things and making them not work? Oh man. Alright, I got his foot back on. But yeah, you have virtually no range forward and back. What the heck? Ankle rocker is also a what the heck. There's almost no range. Why is there so much going on here for nothing? Toe joint is adequately far forward on the foot, but it's the ugly kind. They almost got it, but then they didn't. That's not the way you should do that. The radius should be the whole thickness. The sole shouldn't be separate. I don't know why companies do that. There's no good reason for it other than you could bend the toe farther forward than you're supposed to, but who cares? Because it would look better in every other pose. So feet suck. The toe's acceptable, I guess, and the ankle's garbage. So I don't know what they were doing here, but the torso doesn't pose well. The hips are loose. The ankles are terrible. It's just, I don't know what Bandai's doing. And as far as the loose joints go, this is Chinese factory, not Vietnamese factory. So it's not that. It's just the way they made it. So honestly, the articulation's not great on this guy. It's going to get a 6 out of 10. It's probably lower than that, honestly. I'm not okay with this. The torsos don't work now. They work even worse than before, and they don't really look that much better. At least make them seamless. Goodness. Alright, so let's do a final rating. Love the aesthetic overall. Are these meant to be articulated, or is this... Okay, yeah, they're not meant to be articulated. It's just falling off. I don't know... Okay. Okay? They're all the same, so I guess it's just they're removable. If you break one, you can pull one off of another head. I don't know. But now you can just lose them, so... One step forward, at least one step back. Anyway, it looks really good. I love the paint job on it overall. I don't love, the accessories are good enough and the faces look great, so they're gonna make up for the lack of articulation. But this is hardly the winner I was really hoping it would be. It's certainly good enough. I'm gonna give it an overall rating of 7 out of 10. For SH Figuarts, the articulation is way too limited. It's just way too limited and problematic. Really, really unfortunate. But, I mean, personally, I like the figure a whole bunch, but officially, what happened to the articulation, guys? Where'd it go? It's so bad. Alright, there it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.